morning, everybody. We're going to go through the first 10 subui that we did last week, and in the same kind of order that we did myself and Michael. And then we're going to try to take it from 11 to 18 after that. So if you will bow in, warm up, and then we get started. Okay. So, right, okay, so we're just going to slowly have a bit of a bounce into the system and relax a little, just to encourage the body to get used to some movement. You feel it, your pelvic muscular system under the core, just release. Feel the knees just release and build that heart rate up a little bit without any pressure on the joints. So I had a bit of a twist in the movement as well, to just loosen side of the pelvic joint. And then back to straight on. A little bit more violent. Control your breathing. Right, and slow it back down. And slowly come to a stop. And now to engage the spine by stretching and flexing in a wave motion. Feel your connection to the floor get deeper while you're doing this. Really encourage your shoulders to roll forwards and backwards. And really encourage your pelvic to tilt, your pelvic tilt in its full range of motion. And knees, feet together, circle one way. Circle the other way. Forwards and backwards. Sitting down, just have your hands on your knees and feel how your knees responding. Point your toes slightly outwards. Allow your knee to fall again over your toes. And feel how your knees respond. First, go down trying to keep your heel to the floor. And then when you feel comfortable, without applying any tension to your knee, see if your heel can come up off the floor. All right, and circle the hip. As you're going around, take the lead hand high, the trail hand low. Really stretch this lead hand. And try to stay connected with the floor at the same time. All right, good. And this, again, it's the spiral movement. Palm on your wrist, present the Kokyo into the front. Feel the resistance from the twist inside your grip. Not too strong. And using your body to present. Top opposite corner. Spiral in the hand so the thumb goes as if it's going down your shoulder, behind your shoulder. Keeping your elbow down. Top same corner. With some really extensive, really work that spiral, the whole beam. So the elbow stays in front and down. You do it this spiral here. Lower opposite corner. As if you're really receiving through the spiral. And lower same corner. And change. Forwards. Opposite corner. Same side. Opposite lower corner. Same lower corner. And okay, don't want to take up too much time, so we will get Joe, and I will take over to Michael, and let's start on the recap. Cool.
Good. Everyone hear me okay? Okay, cool.
I can, yeah.
We'll just start with number one, so nice and slow. So just really what we were looking at last week, it was whole body movement, so really just take it slow, big clear movements. Just come into the kamae. Just find the kamae here and just find the ski position. So take it really slow. Just focus on the balance of the body. Really try and fill all the movement out. So try not to just focus on the ski movement. Focus on also coming back into the kamae.
Brendon, can you spotlight Michael?
Is it Michael not spotlighted? I thought he was. He is.
You're both showing.
Oh, are we both showing? Oh, okay. You don't know. There we go. Hey.
Okay, good. Okay, so the first part, we're going to go in 11, 12, 13 is Katate series, and it's really challenging positions for the body in terms of balance. We're going to use the first set of movements really to focus on the hips really grounding into the floor. So see, finally you've got this position nice and relaxed, very, very kind of natural. And then really feel in this position, what you're doing is placing the hips into the ground. So really feel a sense that the hips are going to do this into the ground. They're going to go boom, right into the ground. But try and avoid doing where the hips are basically being pulled up. So feel that the jaw coming out doesn't pull the hips out, but the jaw coming out is grounded by the hips pressing down into the ground. Yeah. So just work a little bit on the grounding of the hips, because you really need this for any kind of sense of stability with 11, 12, 13. Just focus a little bit more on it. Really ground. Ah. Good, good, good. Yes. We'll also do a little bit on the kind of eight directions, six directions we'll kind of stick with, because they're a bit easier to kind of get down. So keeping the spine long, having the sense of grounding the hips down, but now really have a sense of the front and the back of the body. It's very easy in all the Saburi to get trapped into the front and be in these kind of positions here. So really feel in this case that you ground the whole movement from the back of the body, the spine, and especially in this case the back leg. It's really going to be the ground for the whole movement. So really feel now in this case you're going to balance the front with really a sense of being heavy in the back. So really just now focus just on the back of the body. And again, when we go into the Katate series, if I have no sense of the back, the movements just take me over. So I have no sense of balance. So really just now focus on the front and really balancing out the back of the body. So just a few more. And it's not a matter of necessarily doing more, it's just a matter of bringing awareness to the back. So don't think about doing anything or adding anything, just think about what's happening in the back. Where is the movement starting from? That's it, very nice. Great, good, good, good. That's it, great. That's very nice. Okay, good. And then the last direction is this kind of lateral side to side move. Now, this is quite difficult, the direction to kind of work, especially with weapons. But the good thing about the Jo is that it's almost designed for this kind of this whole area opening out. So just be kind of, again, just be aware of this movement. And it's very easy with the Jo to get into these kind of positions, to kind of crunch forward. You come into these kind of positions, crunch. And every time I kind of come back to this kind of crunched position, think about when you kind of sit on a computer, I basically end up in these kind of positions. But really take your time in this case to really open this kind of line through the body. If you think about the Jo position, it's very similar to a kind of rifle position, which is basically where I'm opening the whole lateral line of the body. And the moment I kind of close down, I come into these kind of positions. So you can think in terms of archery, which I do. So opening this line of the body right out. Or you can think in terms of like holding a rifle, or really this comes from spear work, but the idea is the same, to really open up that line of the body. So it's quite difficult in this case to come into it. So we usually work on this by coming just from this position. So just do a few, just working from skikamai and just coming through, and really keep a sense all the time that this line is open. Draw to the back, open out, draw to the back, Open out. And obviously the focus is on the hips, is on the shoulders right now, but keep also this feeling is in the hips as well. So just focus a little bit now on this kind of lateral line, opening the body out, left and right, which in terms of jaw work correlates to front and back. So it's actually, it's an easier direction to work with the jaw. Just play a little bit with it. Okay, good. That's it. And then when you feel like it just starts to come back into the suburi, so come into this position, and then again, really feel like you open this side up. It's very, in this case, the backhand starts to kind of be activated, and it kind of pulls the shoulder forward. And the first thing to happen is I crunch forward, and then I do this. And as I come back, I have a tendency to be in this kind of position, like I'm kind of ready, I'm kind of preloading the movement, but really feel in this case, you're kind of like waiting for a bus. So you just wait. Yeah, the arms are nice and really relaxed, and then the whole body comes with the movement, and then just come back into this kind of nice stacked, balanced waiting position in this kind of sense. Okay, just give it a try. So working now from the first suburi, just working on this sense of breadth through the body. So you've got length, width, and breadth. All these directions should be kind of full. That's good. Right. That's good. So I'm not going to run through the whole 10, just going to pick through them. So we're going to skip into number 4, so ski, Gerangaiti. Starting ski, come forward with the ski, draw the jaw back, and then coming forward, finding the Gerangaiti to the straight to the knee. So each time, just 3 nice basic movements. 1, 2, drawing back, and then 3, striking the knee, and then coming back. And again, just fill all these movements out. So actually you're in 4 movements because you come back to Kamai. So just feel that you fill all these movements out. So just give it a try. Ski, Geran, Gaisi. Number 4. Yeah. And as we come into 11, especially 11, this 11 is really about drawing the jaw back through the body this way. So in this case, when you do this movement, second movement, really have the sense that what's pulling their jaw back is the hips. That this hand connecting with the back hip is going to roll the jaw back. And this means that the movement's very efficient and very direct. The jaw should just feel like it comes back. What I don't want to do in this case is do this, preload it, and then pull it back. So in this case, just focus on the connection between this hand and this hip, and really feel that it pulls the jaw back. Actually, it's drawing the jaw back. Drawing is a better word, because if I use pull, you will start to pull it. So think about drawing the jaw back through the body this way, and then just come into the strike this way. So just take a little bit of focus now into that second movement. Try and make it as efficient as possible, which means basically connecting it into the center. Just that. That's
Hey. Oh.
Okay.
Good. Okay, and again, focusing on the hip work. Now, also, I'm kind of skipping through them because they also go through in kind of complexity in terms of the hip work. So, in this case, you're doing the same kind of feeling where the hips are kind of coming into the ground, and you're doing it here where the hips are coming into the ground, drawing back, hips coming into the ground. And now from here, what you're doing the same thing. The hips are going to kind of come into the ground, but they're going to do it by a spiral. So now, in this case, the hips need to be super flexible. So in terms of doing the ski work, I can get away with the hips being quite kind of rigid. They kind of come in through. Ideally, they're not, but I can get away with it. In this case, I can't really get away with the hips being rigid and come into a spiral. It's almost impossible to find a spiral with rigid hips. So just focus now on the sense that the hips are very flexible. Especially the front hip has a quality of folding. And then the back hip gets dragged through and then coming through to here. A lot of the time, we talked about this a lot with Adrian and people about this kind of movement, whether it's a forward movement or whether it's on the spot. Now, in the sense, I'm only really concerned with the sense of spiraling. So if coming forward means I lose the spiral, what I basically do is do it much more contained and do it on the much more kind of on the spot. In terms of the basic, the foot's kind of just coming through a little bit forward. But I'm really going to focus, I really want you to focus now on this kind of sense of spiraling through the hips and the sense of grounding the whole strike in the hip work. Okay, so just give it a few more, but really just focusing on this sense of, or this quality of spiraling, really grounding the movement in the lower body. Just give a few more tries. Let's see. Nice.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
That's actually great.
Hey. Ah.
Very nice. So,
Hey. Ah. Hey. Ah. Oh. Hey. Oh. Oh. Hey.
and then just one more point. This movement, in a sense, it's very easy to ground to because it's all happening below. So it's a low movement. It's very easy. It's actually quite easy to ground the movement. The problem with this movement is you tend to crunch forward. So the problem with it is I tend to do it down like this. And this is really exaggerated, but the tendency is to lose the sense of length through the body and lose all this kind of sense of the six directions. So just focus a little bit now. Now you've got the hips in place. Focus that the upper body can basically expand on top of a solid foundation. So think that the upper body is now open, relaxed, and it's going to sit into the lower body. But really feel as you make the strike, the body should feel free, especially in the front, in the kind of pecs here. Really feel this whole area, it should feel nice and free. And the moment I feel this kind of crunching, especially in the neck, just try and open it out a little bit more. And in terms of the basic, we tend to do the movement like this. So I've got a kind of wide position with the hands, kind of a triangle from the shoulder to the hand to this hand. So you're basically working already with a wide position. When we use it in a kind of practical sense, you're kind of opening, closing the movement down. But for the basic, just keep a sense of width through the whole body. So just focus now on releasing through the upper body. So the lower body should feel heavy and rounded. The upper body should feel very free and open.
Yeah.
So. Good. Okay, I'm going to skip right ahead to number 9. So you're gonna now start in Kenkamai this way. I'm just using a shorter stick just because of my ceiling. So just to show the movement now, you're going to roll back, come up to the Jodan Kamai, strike down here with the hips, again, placing the hips into the ground. And then from here, you're going to go to the rear and find an Ushidosuki to here. So this is now a challenge to really fill the front and fill the back, and at the same time balancing in the opposite direction. So just now come into this, nice and easy. Ground the hips and send the hips back this way. Yeah, so just working with number 9, so Menuchi Ushidosuki. Nice, nice, nice.
Okay.
Oh, ouch, Ellen.
Wow.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oy, ouch. Okay. Oh, just everyone's kind of hitting things. Just focus in this case. Just go from this position where your hips are engaged. So you're in this position. Now just check the connection here again. It's a little bit like you do in number 3, where I'm in number 4, where I'm using the hips to send the jaw back. Now what happens almost all the time is this and then this. So it's a kind of preloading movement. I don't want any kind of preloading movement. I just want the body to come back into this kind of position. So just play a few times. I said last week, it's like throwing a baby behind you. So you've got an object here, and then you just throw it behind. So I'm trying to cast the jaw behind me, but I'm not going. What I'm not going to do is kind of load it up and then do it. Just feel that this is one movement. So you engage the hips in through the head, and then you just press it backwards this way. So in this case, really use the fact that you're cutting into the ground. So I'm really grounding the cut in the hips, in the feet, and then I just use it to come back. If I'm not really grounding in the front or I'm off balance, then I'll do these preloading movements to refine the balance and then go. But just see if you can experience the sense of grounding into the hips here and then just coming back this way, which means a little bit taking the focus away from the strike. So forget about the kind of function of the movement and just go to the quality of the movement. So it's just about sending something behind you. With a really strong grounded movement, and it should feel instantaneous. It should feel totally direct. Yeah. So. This is kind of interesting as well, so to look at the connection. So even if I don't do a movement, an extra move with the hand and then do it, there's now a tendency to kind of, I could call it kind of revving the engine. I do a kind of, and then I go. But it's, in a sense, your body's putting you in a position where it can move. So when you make the cut, you actually need to come into that position. So without coming into tension, I need to feel that the whole body's kind of lit up through this move. And then from here, I just press it back. But if I feel like the connection here is loose, and then the body wants to feel like revs up and then goes. But just feel that happen. It's a really brief moment, but it's a kind of and then you go. But just see if you can get a sense of cutting into the ground and then go. So it means going a little bit slower and a little bit kind of softer, and just really paying attention to those movements. And I'm really interested in going from stillness into motion directly. That gives you the ability later to go really fluid. Just pay attention to those moments.
Michael,
Go.
right before going to the thrust, isn't your weight shifted a little on the back foot to get the ground or something?
Before the thrust.
Right before. So you did the strike, so it's finished, and you're gonna go to the thrust, Ushiro. Don't you need some shifts to the back foot for grounding, because you need something from the ground to move.
Yeah, but think which foot am I placing most of my weight into to make that
back foot or not?
Think about it.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
If I do the movement here, this curve now, if in order to move backwards, where do I place all my weight to free the movement to the back?
Well, actually, it feels like front, but when we do the front, then we're leaning towards the front, aren't we?
Yeah, that's the problem. If I think about placing weight or pressing weight, and then I do this.
Yeah,
but
so that's why I said the back foot, but maybe it's not the case.
It's the right. If you think about it, I need to ground to the front foot, because if I ground to the back foot, I trap the leg, and then how do I move backwards? If I ground that foot, I could go like that, but I can't move the whole body back. So if I ground through this leg, I can do that, or I can do that, or I can do that, but I can't bring the whole body back. So in a sense, what I'm doing in this, think about Marotadori, Kokiwa. What I want to do is that hit to go back through the movement. So all my grounding is being done in the front foot.
But then again, if you shift it on the front, how do you prevent the leaning? Or even if you don't really do this,
prevent it by don't do it. So I don't load into the foot. I just let my weight settle into the foot. So I let the weight drop and then I go. But I'm doing that in the cut. So the cut happens here. I ground into the foot and then I'm already into it. But if I feel like I'm not really grounded into it, then I will do that. I'll load into the foot and then
okay.
So it's a question of balance and connection.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully that answers nothing. Totally clear. Yeah, good. And if you're not concerned, try loading in the back. So try it. I always say, don't ever listen to any teacher what they say. Don't always test it. So if they say something, really you don't have to believe a thing that anyone ever says. So test it, try it. If it works, it's probably okay. Now if it feels totally awkward, maybe it's totally awkward. But never trust the teacher. They also come out with a lot of bullshit. So just always test it for your own body. That's my advice. Which is also you should also come to your own conclusion.
Maybe she wants.
Don't believe the truth.
Brendon, can you spotlight Michael again?
Oh, sorry.
It's nice to see Sasha, though.
Oh, it's Sasha. Sorry about that. I don't know who's spotlight. I do.
It wasn't me.
So we'll just finish with 10, nice and quickly, but it's really based on the same kind of principle. So now you're working from the right foot, sinking into the right foot, finding the Yokomanuchi, and now you're going to ground again into the back foot, into the front foot, and then you come back to the ski this way. So again, nice and clear, easy movement. Ground the Yokomen. Now press to the back foot. Oh shit again. Sorry. Ground from the
language.
I don't believe you anyway, Michael. Sorry.
How do you?
Don't listen to what I'm saying. Watch what I'm doing. Okay, just do number 10 on your own. Oh my god. Too little.
Hey. Oh. Oh. Hey.
Good. Number 10's a really good one because it's actually very tricky. It's actually one of the hardest Saburi we've got. It's actually very simple, but super tricky. And the reason is because if you come to this position, I've got this kind of cross alignment with the hands. Because when you're working with number 9, I've got this basically the same correlation between the hips and the hands. Now, as I come into 10, I've got a cross relationship, so that the right hand's now in front. I need still the right hand to create the movement. So I'm coming from this position, the right hip to the right hand. So this comes through this way. So just focus now on this, but just be aware that this kind of crossing the hands over can start to kind of screw the coordination up in the body. So just pay attention now to finding this, and then really feel the hip to the hand, and then take it through this way. Hopefully don't hit the TV, and just give it a try. Just the last few, and then we'll move on to the katate with Brendon. And again, it should be direct, instantaneous. This ski movement. Fast. Nice.
Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Okay, good. Slight change of plan. I'm going to take you through the katate. So, as last week, the time's a bit kind of tight, and I'm more a fan of doing less than more. So in this case, I'm just going to work through number 11 because all these kind of points that are really kind of key to number 11. So what I want to do is just focus now, drawing the jaw back, and just finding this kind of position. And then from here, very, very lightly, release the move, come up to the top, this position here. So do this movement very, very light. I'm using a short stick just because of the ceiling, but just in this case, roll the body back, really ground the extension here, and then just nice and slow, come up into the movement here, this way. Just in your own time. Watch out for the light fittings. Good. Yeah, good. Nice. Long. Good, Adrian. Good. So this is a really, really tricky Saburi, so very, very difficult to do very well. So easy to do fast and easy to do with lots of power, but very, very difficult to do with a sense of being grounded and a sense of real balance with the body. So just focus now on these positions. But also the Kamai, really, all I want you to think about is the middle of the posture. So all the time, just think about the middle here, coming into the middle of the posture here. The extensions included, the middle, and then as you come through, come to the middle. So feel that the body's really, really, really grounding down, and that you feel that basically the center is acting out to the peripheries. So really try, just take a few moments in each position. If I feel I'm loaded to the front, it's very easy to load this to the back, and it's very easy now to lose the ground and come up into the ground. And then the body will do this kind of settling down. So you end up with a kind of bobbing through the movement. You have a front back bob, and then you have a up down bow. But really try have no bow, no bow. So here, no bow. So it's just grounded. So just look for the body to basically settle into the middle of its own position. So here. So keep it very, very calm and avoid using power for the moment. So especially, most of you are working in very tight spaces, so you're doing it automatically, but keep it very slow. Yes, just look for the middle. Especially in these challenging positions. And especially when the Joe's up high. Yeah, good.
Michael?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, can you see the position of that front wrist?
At which point?
Right at the end.
Right at the end, okay. This. So in this case, it's in, hello. It's in this position. Quick, like this. So the wrist's gonna do this. This. So it comes into this position. Think with this motion, my next move is to drag the Joe down and just make a strike with it. So I want the hand to basically be in this position. Basically thumbs forward. And then from here, the sensation is that I can just draw the body through it. So you're in this position here and then there. So I allow the wrist to do that. Hopefully that's clear, you can see.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Nashmas.
See? Yeah.
And just think a little bit longer. Think that the front hand is lower than the back hand. So the back hand's a little bit higher. So I end up in a position where I'm, this is hard to show, there. So the Joe's just slightly angled up, but not in this kind of position. So just think about, you're basically drawing a diagonal. So you're doing a yokomen strike to the head, and then you continue it up. So it just forms one diagonal strike, just straight up like this. Just look at that.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. So, okie dokie. Yeah. That's it, lumbar, good. Right. Yeah. Nice session.
So I just, obviously there's lots of technical details and I can't really correct them all because it's actually very difficult to see everyone what you're all doing. So in a sense, I'm just going to go to a big general point. Focus really on the whole body. So in a sense, when you do these 11, 12, 13, the sensation once you get the connection is like the body drags the Joe through the movement. What a lot of you are doing that I'm seeing is that you start the movement in the hands and then the body gets dragged forward by the Joe. But do the opposite. So allow the Joe to be dragged by the body. So the body initiates the movement, and then you find the strike. So lots of people will say this, and again, you shouldn't just believe them. Really test it. There's a real difference between the hand starts to move and the body gets dragged, or I ground the movement in the body and I drag the Joe with the body this way. Yeah. So just try both methods. So. And just feel which one feels more efficient, more graceful, and more powerful, and more connected ultimately. Just play a little bit with it.
Yeah. There we go.
And one more point. When you do this, see this movement, this whole movement as one thing. So this. It's just one movement. Quite a lot of you doing this and then kind of coming up and then doing something else. And it's happening. It's actually all happening in the wrist. So you do this and then you do this with the movement. But just feel that movement's all one arc. So it's just one arc through the movement. So just feel now a little bit more free to come to here and then just release this arc all the way through. But just be careful of doing the two things. Boom, boom. This is basically adding an extra move to it that doesn't really exist in the form. So come in here, just arc through it this way. You know, this hand just does this, but it doesn't do like this. Yeah, so just think this is the easiest way to picture this move. It's like a big slap. Wow, it goes like that. It's like a big slap across the face, but I don't slap someone and then draw the hand back. Just think about, wow, just come straight through like this. Yeah, just the last few, and then I'm going to hand you over. That's it. And you might find the Joe's going to be lost. You're going to lose the Joe because the problem was before you're doing too much. So if I'm over controlling the Joe, I'll now start to feel the Joe's I'm losing it, which is a good way to go towards. Feel that you're kind of losing control. That's it, Adrian. Yeah. That's it. Much better. Much better. Okay, good. Very nice. Good. Dupa.
So, Michael.
Yeah, sure.
So when you say you do this as a document, do you aim for the side of the head or below the shin? Because I've been taught this as below the shin.
Oh, these 11, 12, 13, they're all Yokomen strikes to the side of the head. So if you look at 11, this strike is to the side of the head. If you look at 12, this strikes to the side of the head. And then if you look at 13, one strike to the side of the head, and then another, and then coming through to the hasa. So 11, 12, 13, as a basic, the strike is to the side of the head. It's a Yokomen uchi, right to the side of the head. And obviously you can adapt it to be different levels, which slightly changes the movement. But they are adaptable, but in terms of the core, it's really coming to here and releasing this to a Yokomen.
Because we've always used the analog of an uppercut, so it's more like.
Yeah, but if you think of an uppercut, when I strike an uppercut, I don't strike the body first and then the head. When I do an uppercut, I strike for the head straight away. Now, obviously, I can aim the uppercut to different parts of the body, but if I'm learning an uppercut, I first learn to the head, this way. Or this is more like a haymaker than an uppercut. So it's like this. So I first learn to make it clear to a clear target to the head, and then I learn to adapt it to come to the body this way. So if you think in terms of a striking movement, a slap's actually better in this case because it's more open this way. So it comes from the ground and this way, which I then translate into a haymaker. This. But obviously you can adapt all these things to different levels. But for the basic, in those terms, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. Keep it going. I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Brendon Buchanan. Where is he? Oh, okay, cool. Brendon, you have the
Cool. Okay. conscious of space and time, and don't want to rush things. So I think perhaps maybe with 12 and 13, there's quite a lot of points that are very similar to what's been said so far. So perhaps maybe we just jump 12 and 13 and just go into the Hasso section and spend the rest of this time just looking at the Hasso section of this Suburi practice. And then, you know, that might be a nice sort of a way to look at a slightly different quality to what we've been doing today as well. Well, an additional quality, should we say. So the Hasso, guys. In the Suburi, we start with Kenkamai. And there are 4 slides that happen. Right. Number 1, as I roll the back leg, my front hand will slide down to the jaw here, causing this diagonal position in front of me. So rolling the back leg and connecting with this slide with this front foot, slide with this front hand. And then from there, the Hasso is a movement of a slide with the back hand down to meet the hands. So it's kind of want to look at that section of the Hasso, guys, first. The full form looks like so. But just want to look at the first 2 slides. Slide number 1, slide number 2. So your hands end up being, if you can see, my hands will end up being in the kind of sort of this position where my left hand is cradling the fist of my top hand. That sliding position I'm going to get to. So just into that place where I'm going to feel the connection in my body. So slide number 1, slide number 2. Really feel that feel. So just in your own time, just practice those 2 slides. See if you can find that. You should really feel heavy when you're doing that movement because you're really into the ground there. So 2 slides, 1, 2, really feeling. Sasha starts in Kenkamai. Kenkamai. It's just good. Hi. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to pause at that particular moment is because that is where I feel the most heaviest, the most compact in this Hasso. The sort of really feel like I've gone into the ground with my whole being at that point. And then at that point, there's this growth of an extent of like a spring sort of expansion up the up and down movement. My lower half stays down and my spine just extends through my hands and through my body. So I do this first spiral here. I'm really in this position here. And as this slide comes over the hand here and I extend, I feel this jaw up into the spine. And I really feel like my spine is extended here. And that's really a sensation I want to find. So here is extension going up through the spine, but my lower half is still in the ground. So I really want to find those positions. So here I'm really deep. And as this slide happens, there's an extension through from the middle of my spine upwards, extending me to get my nice long spine here. But I'm not coming out of the ground. So please try that. Onegaishimasu. Onegaishimasu. Keep going, and for those with short seedings, all you do is at the Hasso point, keep the jaw down, but just extend your right hand up so you can feel. So you don't have to push the jaw up because you've got a short ceiling. You can just feel the extension by sliding your right hand up, and you'll feel that same extension. Adrian, just on this lead hand, the lead hand on that first slide, the lead hand doesn't cramp up into your body here, and your elbow doesn't cramp up. There's a freedom. So from the side on view, there is a freedom. Here. So whatever my kamai is, that freedom stays. Try not to pull it back into your body, because then you're gonna have an awkward hassle. So whatever your kamai is, that kind of feeling is where you move from. That's better. Yes, nice header. Nice, beautiful. Good. Hi, so number 14 is the hassle followed by a strike. So the same principle will be now. So we're going to add a quality to this, because you know the move. So we're doing the hassle, and we've got this finished position here. And we've got the strike, the yokomen. What we're going to do is going to try and do something that's really difficult. My body is going to be ahead of my jaw at this point. So from here, my extension is happening, and I'm getting into this position. My jaw is going into this position while my body has already started for the strike. So I'm really trying to merge the two together into this wave. Really difficult. So I'm going to move slowly. This is still extending while my body moves in strike. I'm really trying to find that connection. So here, my body's still connecting, but going in for the strike. Hustle. You really feel this energy, the hustle going into the strike. Arigatou. Nice, Nick. Nice, Nick. Nice, nice, nice. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah. Nick, am I okay to spotlight you? Thank you. I'm going to spotlight Nick because I see what I'm trying to find. Let me see. I need to remove myself, don't I? I don't do it. Okay, so as Nick performs it now, we're looking for this wave. So from there, see at this point, the jaw ends up being like it's hanging in the air because it's just not sure what to do. It's a little pocket there, and it just comes in. That wonderful extension and that beam, oops, and that body just moving. That kind of feeling. You can do it just at this pace. So as the extension happens, the body starts to move and the jaw follows in for the strike. Thank you, Nick. Arigatou. Hey! 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 Good. Nice. Good. And now just we're going to look at 15 with that same kind of mentality, because 15 is really difficult, got lots of hand changing and going on. So 15 is a hasso with a ski. So I'll do it from front onto the camera first of all. So I'm in Kamai, again with this feeling of being really, really neutral. Hasso. And then into ski. And my ending position is my fist in this place here. Hasso. Ski. Hasso. Hi, Anishima.
Yes.
Raining a lot outside.
Hey.
Hi, okay, just a pointer on this one that I can see quite frequently. It's, you've just done a lovely hasso and create this length in the spine. And then for some reason, when you produce the ski, you kind of crumple that extension that you've just created. And it's very, very common. Let me just make sure that I'm showing on the right camera here. So there we go. So if I produce the hasso, it's a lovely hasso that has this feeling of extension in my body. That extension of length in the spine continues even with the ski. So don't come down and try to like sneak under attack to do a ski. You want this feeling of extension into it. So it's a feeling of a still length. So there's a difference between, can I get a ski in? Let me get a ski in. So there's real feel of length in the spine. And that still happens on return as well. So those pointers are important. So length in the spine, don't crumple here. And don't crumple at this point with the ski as well. So it's length, length, length. That way you're more likely to have the movement from underneath rather than from on top. Any other?
Yes, right. Hey.
Yeah. Very nice. Good lombe. And again, lombe for yourself, when you do the ski, don't let your back foot retreat and escape the situation. Yeah. So don't, from the hasso, I think you see my feet from there. From the hasso, don't come in with the ski and then let this back foot come out. Yeah, it's very common because I don't want that to happen there. This is going to stay on the line and then come back. So from the hassle position, oh, thanks, Mas. Okay, now to extend it and make it really more difficult, really, really difficult, is to do that same kind of wave movement with 3 moves from the hassle. So I'm going. At that pace. So the snap hard focus at the end of the ski won't exist, because it will go and then come back. It will like, rather than and then back. Yeah, so that's you trying to find that feeling, because don't forget the contact doesn't happen at the end of the ski, it happens during the ski. So you don't need it at the end, you need it in the middle, you need that power in the middle. So test your balance by speeding it up a little bit. This has that same feeling of doing the 6 count kata as 2 moves or 1 move. Nice. Very good. Any questions so far before I go into number 15? Oshiroski. Waiting for delay. No? Okay, good. So and on to I can see you too. On to number 15. So Oshiroski. So we're going to go into the hassle again. Position here. This time from this extension, from this extended spine, I lower my center, which draws the jaw down into a parallel to the floor position. From here, same feeling with the ski that Michael was talking about earlier. From the back of the hand, from my right hand, I'm going to move back into the ski. So it's really is a connection to the body position here. So the really connection to the body, though. So those are the 3 components. 1, 2, 3. And once you have that, try and find that feeling. Oops, try and find that feeling of that wave. So those are the 2 points he's trying to do. I think it's nice.
Yeah, come on.
Whatever level you're at, you can work it that way. Sasha, this is not a requirement, but it's an indication of the level of connection to the weapon. So if I do this movement here into the hassle, and as I drop into here, this hand releases, and then I drop, and then find the Joe at the end. Like this hand really doesn't have an entire desire to connect to the weapon. What I think happens is at this point here, is this actually wants to stay connected to the weapon, because and doesn't really disconnect.
Okay.
Because I really want to be part of it. So end up so it all ends up really glued in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Thanks.
nice.
Yeah.
So should feel nicer as well, I think. It does to me anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice, guys. The final point of this is you start in Kamae with the feeling that your body is going to control this whole move, and the body is going to be in charge of the weapon. The body moves, the weapon will follow. But then do you end with that same mentality? So like, are we doing all this hard work at the beginning to be initiated, and then as we do the ski, then there's this wobble, like the Joe is controlling the body. You know, so we don't really want that. So my feeling is doing a hassle without the weapon is moving up here and here, and that's kind of what I want to be. That's where my body wants to be working. There wants to be no wobble in this. So that is here, and it's steadiness. So I'm just going to produce that with the jaw. So my body is going to here, and there's no wobble in that. So try and find that. If you find you can't do it, it's because the jaw is taking over the conversation. And yes, man.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Brendon,
Yeah.
can I see
Yes, please.
when you go, I don't know what it is called, this position. Can I see the position of your both hands exactly from the side? As soon as you from hustle, as soon as you go down.
Yeah, sure.
And really slow, and I can see you now. Okay.
Sure. So, I am going like this. Like this.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to see when the back hand and the other matches. So you're immediately sliding, yeah. And even in the slow motion, right? You never kind of, I don't know the word, like you never end up here and then start moving.
So end up what? Sorry.
The hand on the back.
Yeah.
Immediately starts sliding, right?
Yeah. So it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working on the forms, so just the hassle first.
Yeah.
Then I'm working on this form, and then so then. But even as I'm dropping this hand, and my hand slide at the same time. Yes.
Okay.
So what I want
even in the slowest motion. Okay.
Yeah, because it's all connected. So I end up being beautiful, like together. My hands are on top of each other when I'm in my center position here.
Okay, so when you're really down, it's in the, okay. So they're meeting as soon as you're down to strike. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So then then at pace, it kind of looks.
Yeah, when it's fast, I cannot really catch it when they meet up. So I was wondering.
But that's the point. Yeah. So the point is, it can be quick because they are connected.
Yeah.
The minute there's a disconnection with this hand, I have to then refine my job again, and I lose that connection. So keeping them connected at that point allows the pace to happen without losing the connection.
Okay, thank you.
And other things like grounding and everything else.
Yeah. Thank you.
One more minute then, guys, and then we're going to try something different.
Oh.
Hey. Oh. Hey. Okay, Ame. So we don't want to rush anything. The qualities are really important. We have got 2 more of the Hasso section and 2 more of the Katate section to do. So we're going to do it at a different time. But what I'm going to do to finish my section up, handing back over to Michael, because I have to start packing away here. I'm going to ask to combine the Hasogai Ushiroski with number 12 of the. I'm going to combine the 2 together and see if you can do it. So I'm going to go do front hand first of all. The Hasso. Start going into the position for Ushiroski, but continue into this place here. So Hasso. Go in for the ski, but then change it to so. Into the 12. Hasso. Ushiru, but then into number 12. Have a practice. Be careful. If you haven't got the space, you're unsure, go try link it with Gedangaishi instead. Right? Yeah, you can, yeah. You link it to Gedangaishi as well if you wish.
Hey.
But yes,
I'm
ma'am.
back.
It's good. Nice time.
The same question, but
Yeah.
in this case. So when exactly, because you slide again, I suppose, and you have to, go backwards. So when exactly the hands meet?
It's a good question, and I don't know, so I'm gonna have a look at it.
I can't see you.
Tell me when you can.
No, you're really small.
Oh.
Okay, now I can.
Got it.
Okay, thanks. Right here?
Yes.
All right, so I do the hustle. I go into this place here,
Yeah.
and then as I slide back, this will just meet.
So in
Yeah.
this case, you don't with your hip, you don't take. You do, of course, but not as apparent as the original.
It's like if I want to ski, this right hand won't slide again.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to ski, I want to draw, then this right hand will release and allow this to happen to drop into here.
Interesting.
And then I can go through it. Or if I want to, I can drop down to his space instead.
Yeah.
And following with the move.
Yeah.
So it's just having the understanding that really the jaw, if it's connected, can do whatever your body wants it to do. That's kind of the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
On that note, I'm going to pass back over to Michael to finish off the class while I start to pack away and stuff. Is that okay, Michael?
Thank you.
Great. Well done. Nice one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendon.
Cool. I'll still be around.
You can see me.
Great.
Okay. How long? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
1 second, just so I can see.
So we'll just finish with a little bit of just kind of cool down, loosen it off. just work with the jaw. So normally I do these at the start of the class, but just working again on the kind of connections we've been focusing on this last hour and a half. And also just loosening the body off. Just rotate through the wrist. Try and feel really a sense of freedom in the arm, especially in the forearm. When we talk of this movement for me is really I use for kind of cocu training. So really focus on a sense of a spiral through, especially the forearm. So this whole area from the elbow down to the fingertips is really mobilized. And later when we start to open this movement out, it becomes a bit clearer, but really start to now have a sense of mobilizing a spiral through the whole arm. And just change sides freely. Let's do a few each. Also, if you feel like it, just start to kind of move the feet around. So as long as I can keep kind of heavy and dense, the feeling of the weight settling down, just move the body a little bit.
Can I see your elbows sideways on when you're doing it?
This way.
Can I see it from the side? Yeah, thanks.
And just change sides freely, so just do a few each side. Keep it nice and easy. Nice. Interesting. Good. And just start to, if you feel like it, just start to pass the jaw between the hands. So you're always going to catch the jaw from underneath, little fingers together, and just pass the jaw from one side to the other. Really feel all the time the jaw should feel very secure. So it shouldn't feel like kind of baton twirling where I'm releasing the jaw into the air. It should feel all the time connecting to the center and the lower body. And I'm watching a little bit what you're doing. So what some of you are doing is also kind of interesting. You're starting to kind of move in the body this way. Now do this as well, as long as I can kind of spiral through the body. So really think in terms of these cocky hole movements we've got, spiraling into the ground through the movement. So just start to focus now on spiral movements. Spiraling movements. It's not the right word. Spiraling. What's the word? Spiral. What's the word, Brendon? Adjective.
Spiraling move. I'm not sure what the word you're trying to get to.
Spiralic.
Quality of a spiral. Adrian, help me. Spiraling.
Spiralic.
No problem. English is very flexible. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. So. Yeah, and you're all already going naturally. So now just start to work with a kind of infinity cycle through the hands. And again, just moving the body around. Really think about moving the body again in spirals. So think of the feet, the hands, the jaw, everything's just connecting and transmitting spirals. So you can think about spirals moving in all directions, spirals down in the ground, spirals out through the hands, passing through into the jaw, and also spiral movements to the side of the body. Above the head is also all these kind of hasso movements we've been doing. Also really involve this kind of lengthening and pulling a spiral out through the whole body. Just play a little bit with it. Play with just one hand, play with two, really just freestyle a little bit. That's it, great. Nice, nice.
I heard some rain earlier. I thought, flipping it.
And then just start to
came down. Yeah.
Just start to move, open the movement out and start to work towards the back also. So start to kind of pass the jaw around the body, opening the back of the body up. Because all of the jaw work we do tends to be towards the back, towards the front of the body. It's also nice to start to open the body out to the back, really opening the shoulder blades out. So use this as a kind of active recovery. You can also with this backwards.
Yeah, I'm moving it now. Yeah.
Hello, Brendon. When you do this backwards pass, you can also think about tilting the hips.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. How you doing?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you. They're still carrying on, but I've got them going. Michael's teaching it now.
Can't mute.
Yeah, it's great. Perfect. Yeah, but he talks too much. He goes on. I'm not muted on purpose. Yeah, great. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you, Andy.
I'm always, this is me, I'm a Saturday. We try to do horses first.
Nice.
At least now they don't have to rush to finish the season, which is great. All right, speak to you later, Mandy.
Okay, take care.
Bye bye. Will do.
Oh, hang on.
Where is he?
I am here.
Good. Just the last minute or so. Start to now bring the body back into a static position and just slow the movements down now. And really just work on balancing the body. Nice and slow, just passing the jaw through the body. You can work with kind of big rotation movements, full movements, but you can just work now, just feel that the jaw's going to kind of move around. And it's just about just now feeling the connection between the body. Sinking the weight down. Just start to basically slow the body down. Feel the jaw connecting really into the body. Just pass it around. Good. Try and feel the body nice, grounded, centered. You should hopefully feel a little bit freer than you did at the start of the class. And just start to really slow the movement down. And when you're ready, stop, and then we'll bow out. Stop. Super duper. Good. Okay. Domo. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael and Brendon.